Thank you so much for being back. I appreciate this. I want to talk The Crown. I want to talk about the final season, the ending of The Crown. But first, I want to talk about your debut in New York City on stage. You were in a very big play.
I was. It was my second job. We'd done it in Sydney first with Cate Blanchett and Isabelle Huppert. It was a play called The Maids.
Oof.
And we did it here for a month at the Lincoln Center Festival, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a very famous run-in, and I just would like you to tell that story because it made me laugh. It was yeah, kind of a surreal moment.
It's actually sort of like maybe one of the highlights of my life.
Ooh.
So I did the play, and then of course what I didn't know about doing a play in New York is that all these incredibly wonderful famous people come back. We don't do that in Australia. You just go home, everyone's like, right, done, off you go. And so in New York, like, everybody comes backstage. One day I was sort of like making a dash, trying to put my backpack on, run out the door, and I sort of collide with Meryl Streep on the staircase. So she's standing there, and I sort of don't know what to do. I freeze, and she sort of just like, I'm not sure if she's touching the floor. She just kind of like floated towards me.
Yeah, she floats.
And
yeah.
I'm just
Meryl Streep
there,
floats
and I'm like,
all around, yes.
Oh, it's Meryl Streep. And I sort of go to duck thinking, I know she's there for Kate and for Isabel, but she comes towards me, and she's so incredibly kind, and she takes my hand, and she starts saying all these lovely things. And at the same time as her sort of saying these things to me, out comes Kate and out comes Isabel from their respective dressing rooms. And so I'm standing there, and Meryl Streep is holding my hand up to her chest. And I'm just standing there with my hand like this. So there's Meryl Streep, Cate Blanchett, Isabelle Huppert. For 5 minutes, I just stood with my hand up on this angel person's chest, and I did not move a muscle. Not a tendon, nothing. I was trying to have a conversation and like join in. So I was just like looking up, I was like
that's,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But just didn't move, right? And then, because I thought the second I move, she's going to realise she's holding my hand for 5 minutes.
And
then you know, the conversation ended, and I sort of just like walked away in silence, and I went back into my dressing room and just held my hand like that.
She started crying into it.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
cool.
what do you do?
She's cool like that. She's like, yeah, let me hold your hand, then I'm not taking it away.
She was so
Hi,
kind.
how you doing?
Yeah,
the greatest.
Yeah.
Since you were last here, you got an Emmy nomination for playing Princess Diana in The Crown. Well deserved, by the way. You're so good. Congratulations. How did you find out that you were nominated?
Well, I was in Australia, and because of the time difference, the nominations were being announced while I would have been asleep. So it was actually a big decision. I was on vacation with my family, and it was a big decision. We were like, do I wait up and see, or do I go to sleep? Because I thought, well, you know, then if you don't get nominated, that's a really sad sleep, isn't it?
Yes, it actually is.
Yeah, it
If you
is.
just sleep through it and wake up,
like
it's Christmas. You go, oh,
staring
great.
Yeah,
if you find out there is no Christmas, I guess it's sad, yeah.
It's real sad. So I didn't look, I went to sleep, and then, like, I was fast asleep in the morning. My little sister, she like, snuck into my room, and she tapped me on my shoulder. She woke me up, and she said, you got nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah. Come on, that's great, right? Not only do you have her mannerisms down, honestly, it's bizarre how great you are. It's so great. But you have her dialect, like the way she speaks. It's very Diana. Mm-hmm. Did you work with a coach? Is there a word? Sometimes people say a word like to get back into a thing. You go like if there's a Philly accent, you go like hoogie. Hoogie.
What do you do for your Neil Young?
Ooh.
That's what I want to do.
I just say it, just sing the highest note I can possibly sing. But is there a word or something that you go to, or no?
Yes, there is, yeah. It's something I actually worked really, really hard on it because it felt like a super important thing to sort of give the audience that, because it's such an iconic voice and there's a sense of like wanting to do it as best I can. And I was super disciplined. Like, it's the only thing in my life I've ever been incredibly disciplined about. It's like the dialect sessions I did. And one of the things that we learned from on The Crown is we sort of learned from speeches that the real life people gave, because the dialects are really kind of almost like over-enunciated in the speeches. So the speech that I learnt from was a speech that starts with the words, in the past 12 years, right?
That's it.
In the past 12 years.
Yeah, that's
so,
it.
I learnt this speech while I was living with my sister in her apartment, and her boyfriend and her flatmate and my boyfriend. And I walked around for about 3 months saying in the past 12 years. And then what happened was, like, I'd be like brushing my teeth, walking the dog, doing the dishes, in the past 12 years. And then, like, I would come in sometimes, I'd walk past someone in the shower, like my sister's boyfriend, and the shower would be running, and I would just hear someone going, in the past 12 years. And that is like the thing, it is a soundbite. And actually, I watched these episodes with my sister recently, and, like, we finished the first episode, she like, sat back and she turned to me and went, in the past 12 years.
Oh, my God. Now it's traumatic. Yeah, this is the final season of The Crown.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, was it, how did you feel going into the filming this?
Well, I mean, we knew that it would have a sort of heaviness to it, a weight to it. But I think because of that, I sort of leaned in as much as I could to finding the moments of joy and happiness and kind of freedom. And a lot of that was really with the kids who play my boys. They're just they're amazing actors.
Yeah, I have the picture of them here, right here.
I love them.
Yeah. This is
at
the
them.
premiere. Yeah, fantastic.
Look at the head.
Was there anything that you take away from playing when you play Princess Diana? Like when you do this for...
I mean, there's so many things. I think after studying the real-life person, I mean, she was just the most remarkable human being, and she lived her life with so much love. She gave so much love to people, and I think one of the things that breaks people's hearts, I mean, I'll speak for myself, is just a sense of, you know, did she ever receive the love that she gave, you know, in return? I think that's the thing that we think about, and but what a sublime human being she was.
I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Elizabeth Debicki in The Crown. Take a look.
Mummy. Are you going to marry Dodie?
No. Why?
Well, all the newspapers are saying you will.
Well, you know better than to believe the papers.
I'm emphatically not going to marry Dodie. To be honest, I can't wait to come home.
You okay?
I'm okay.
Elizabeth Debicki, everyone! Part 1 of the final season of The Crown is streaming now on Netflix.
Hey, hey.